Council, thank you very much to Mayor Meyer, Mayor Stombrace, Mayor Mason.
Yeah, but I guess I got to say, I endorse you too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And to Craig Smith for the opportunity to be here. It is incredibly exciting to announce that tonight I am a candidate for re-election for the City of Fairfax City Council. 2 years ago, May 3rd, I introduced a new word to everyone. It was the word Tios Pae. It's the people you travel through life with. And we've been honored to be part of your Tios Pae these past 2 years. I want to talk a little bit about where we've been so you can see where we're going. I am a former history major, after all. It's kind of what part of my training is. I want to talk back in 2016, my first Virginia Municipal League conference. After a hurricane, we show up, the power's back on, we sit through some presentations, learn what's going on across the Commonwealth, and then at the end, there's an award, the Stairway to Success Award. And these cities are receiving acknowledgement for their early childhood education. And we're not one of them. I sort of looked around and I talked to those that know much more about education, Councilmember Miller in particular, and said, what are we not doing there? And it turns out it was a new award and we hadn't applied for it. So collaboratively working with the school board, Chairman Buttram and others, we talked about, should we apply for it? What did the award mean? And the exercise of going for, applying, and eventually being recognized in 2017 was incredibly valuable because it gave us a way to intentionally think about what we're doing. It gave us a pause moment to say, are we innovative enough? Are we covering all our bases? And that was very energizing to me because it gave us a minute to say, this is who we are, this is what we're doing. You've heard a lot of conversation about the citizen-centric report. I'm incredibly thankful that we had two of our council members, Councilmember Passy and Councilmember DeMarco, serve on the team that judged it. The model you got in March was based off of the NC State model that had won. We were able to broaden across the U.S. to different universities to be a part of looking at our city. And that outside input is very important because it gives you a chance to look not only this way, but up this way as to what's actually going on. Another item I want to talk about, when I was standing here last time, I talked about Old Town Square. You know, that place where we gather for Rock the Blocks or other events is critically important in moments like this. We need a place where we can come together as a community to talk about what's working well and what issues we have to face together. You see that day in and day out, and the tight-knit community culture we've created here is thriving when we have those events down there. So I want to thank our Parks and Rec team for all the great work that they're doing here. Before I talk about the future, I want to tell a quick story about the present. We have two council members who are not going to be running for re-election. There'll be plenty of time to honor their work. Councilmember Schmidt has been a great person to learn from, as is Councilman Greenfield. But I'm a hockey guy, at heart, as Mr. Mayor Stombrace talked already. And I will tell you, as a rookie in a hockey team, when you enter that locker room, you're looking for someone to be a guiding light, that cagey veteran who you can learn from. And Councilman Greenfield has absolutely been that. I've appreciated the way he approaches topics, the way we can think through elements, and he is going to be missed significantly. My other colleagues on council, Councilmember Miller, Councilmember Passy, and Councilmember DeMarco, I want to thank them publicly because they challenge me in a very positive way. They challenge the way I think, the way I present information. I appreciate the mayor. You're very kind to say the way we listen to each other. It is critically important. We have a great group right now who can talk to each other, think through issues. So I couldn't ask for a better council to be a part of. I want to talk about 4 elements that I'm interested in moving forward. The first is Parks and Rec. We have an issue before us, the Van Dyke future plan for it, adopting it, figuring out what it looks like in the future. We have the future of the community center, the Green Acres Committee led by Councilmember Miller and Councilmember DeMarco. What is the future of that space? Where will it go in our trail system? All of that's going to be forefront as we move forward, so we can pass on to Zoe and Cooper and Nathan, who are all in the audience, what the future is going to hold from them. The second element is the environment. I learned from Mayor Stombrace early on to pay attention to stormwater. It's only going to get harder as we move forward. I serve on 2 committees. One's the Chesapeake Bay and Water Resources Committee and the Council of Governments. It will tell you it's not going to get easier. And as a council and as a city, we need to be prepared for what the future of that looks like. The third area is small businesses, or I like to call them powerful local businesses. We have done some very innovative things. I want to thank the EDA and the Central Chamber of Commerce. Restaurant Week was a success. It was excellent. Not only do we need to be doing physical elements, though, the virtual is just as important. How do we make businesses feel connected so we're not having not just openings, but 1 year and 5-year celebrations of them being connected into the city? We have a room to grow there and look forward to being a part of that. The fourth place is our comprehensive plan, and it really encompasses the other 3 elements we just talked about. We've been working on it for a year and a half now, if not longer. We're going to get it across the goal line here shortly, but it doesn't end there. It's about how we go back to it and use it. I'm a strategic planner by nature. I know no plan survives first contact with reality, but you have to have a plan. You have to know where you're going for those conversations as you move forward. It's a great opportunity to engage our friends at George Mason. It's a great opportunity to engage students at the high school, middle school, and elementary school, because it's their plan as much as it is ours to move forward, and I'm excited about that future. You have 50 days. 50 days from now, at this point in time, the ballots will be done. Your next team of 6 will be chosen, and it will be a team of 6. My first election showed us one thing very clear. Every vote matters. Do not let other people choose your next council. Get to know the candidates, go out and find out who they are, and make sure that on May the 1st, you're finding 6 of us to serve you moving forward. I'm very excited. This is where Steph and I chose to raise our children, chose to make it Zoe and Cooper's hometown, and I ask on May 1st, you choose me as one of your next 6 on City Council. Thank you all for coming.